Welcome back, pro wrestling fans. Welcome back, IWC. It's me. It's me. It's the GOC. Coming to you live to tape. Wait a minute. I haven't done this in a few episodes. I've been pondering, though. I'm live, but I am taping this at the same time. Quite the dilemma. Fuck it. You guys get the idea. Live to tape, as I said, 25 feet below the surface of the earth, here for Guardian of Chaos on the YouTube channel and another edition of Chaos Corner. For today, this date in pro wrestling history for November 30th. I can't thank you fans enough for being here from the bottom of my heart. Much love and respect. A shout out to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because if he's for us, no one else could be against us in this insane world of 2023. Fans, we have another historic, priceless show here on the channel today. Follow me on all social media platforms. You know what they are. Obviously here on the mothership, Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel. In real time on X, at Big Daddy GOC, and the GOC stands for the Guardian of Chaos. On Instagram, it's the Guardian of Chaos. On Facebook, there's two accounts, Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian, in honor of my heritage, and J Brony, for all you jabronis out there, no offense, J Brony. Follow me on Gitter, Gab, Truth Social, and Rumble. I cover it all in the IWC for you, the fans. This is my stress reliever, my motivation, my passion, my distraction, and hopefully I can bring this to you, the fans. So sit back and relax. Grab a beverage, grab a snack, and we're going to have an extravaganza, a bonanza, here on Chaos Corner. Let's jump off of all those other social media platforms and welcome back to Guardian of Chaos on the YouTube channel. One man, unique, unedited, unscripted, raw dog for you, the fans. Hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, inbox me, email me, for crying out loud. We're right about at that 1,000 subscribers. Come on, fans. Spread the word. We're coming up on those 4,000 watch hours. Almost 500,000 total views here on the channel with 2,500 videos. My over 50 years experience as a historian, researcher, agent, scout, smart, fan, mark. That's right, I said it. I'm a mark, just like the rest of us, and I'm proud to be a mark. And of course, my over 3 decades as a pro wrestling manager, from pillar to post, coast to coast, border to border, with umpteen Hall of Famers, legends, heroes, rookies, young lions, and a manager in the framework of Bobby Heenan, Jim Cornette, Captain Lou Albano, J.J. Dillon, Paul Ellering, that took the fucking bumps as well. Remember that about my career. Well, hold on. I don't want to get too carried away. I just want to make it relatable to you guys. It's free because it's me, the GOC. No paywalls, no Patreon, no super chats, no Venmo, PayPal, or any of that garbage. I bring you in and show you who I am on my channel. And I know, and you guys and gals know that I know that you're watching, because I have all the analytics. So for all you creepers sitting in the background, come out and say something. Hit the like button, because I know who you are. And the state of the channel is coming up very soon here on Chaos Corner. So put all that aside. And again, as I say, stay aware, situational awareness. Tomorrow is not guaranteed for anyone. There's a lot of insanity and craziness going around in the world, and especially here in the United States of America. We don't know what's going to happen from day to day. So stay in faith, not fear. Suit up, armor up, because I don't know if it's going to get any better, but we stay positive here on the channel. And that's why I bring this to you, for all of us to have this much needed distraction. And again, I thank all of you for being here. Let's get down to this day, today in pro wrestling history for November 30th. School is in session. Take out your notebooks. November 30th, 1948. Antonino Rocca defeats Danny McShane in Dallas, Texas to win the NWA Texas Heavyweight title, starting Rocca's second run with the belt. Let's fast forward in the time machine. November 30th, 1979. Bruiser Brody defeats the Spoiler in Houston, Texas for the NWA American Heavyweight title. Brody became a 4-time champion while ending the Spoilers' 5th reign. November 30th, 1997. We're really bouncing around here today on Chaos Corner on this date in history. ECW held their 3rd pay-per-view, November to Remember, at the Golden Dome in Monica, Pennsylvania, drawing almost 5,000 fans. At that point, the biggest ECW crowd in history. Here's the lineup. Chris Chetty and Spike Dudley defeat Aaron O'Grady and Paul Diamond as Spike pinned O'Grady. Chris Candido versus Tommy Rogers became a tag team match when Lance Storm and Jerry Lynn interfered. Candido teamed up with Storm and they would defeat Rogers and Jerry Lynn when Candido pinned Rogers with a Northern Lights suplex. A simple Northern Lights suplex, as I say on every episode. Keep it simple, stupid. With all the high risks in 2023 going into 2024 in this age of professional wrestling. And then you wonder why there's all the injuries. Now, I had people come into the comments, especially you, Frank. Respect your opinion. It's all good, man. But this is my point. Look at all the injuries in AEW, WWE, other promotions. You didn't have this back in the day because you kept it simple, stupid. Your finisher was your finisher, and the match was persona non grata. Done. Finito. I get it. I still love the product in today's Pro Wrestling 2023. But you have to understand the tradition and honor. And you cannot get to where you want to go or even where you are until you look back and honor and respect where you've come from. Now, I get it. The rear view mirror is much smaller than the front windshield for a purpose. But look back and honor the carpenters, because you wouldn't be where you are or where you want to go. And then, after respecting the past, you step on that gas pedal, look in the front windshield, and it's full speed ahead. I get it that the men were larger back in the day. Now it's smaller grapplers and talent, and they want to flip-flop dive and high-risk maneuvers. That doesn't make it a better product. That doesn't mean that I haven't advanced or I don't understand it, but it's dangerous, and it's going to lead to more injuries. Perfect example. Adam Cole, baby. CM Punk. Randy Orton. MJF. The list goes on and on. Do your research. That's just where I'm coming from. As the old man brand, the over 50 demo god here in the IWC. Let's get back to 1997, November 30th. ECW, November to Remember. I already talked about Chetty and Spike Dudley, Chris Candido and Storm going over on Tommy Rogers and Jerry Lynn. On that same card, Mikey Whipwreck defeats Justin Credible with a whippersnapper off the ropes. To my point, Al Snow on that night introduces the head gimmick. What do we want? Head. What do we need more of? Head, with that mannequin. Who knew that Al Snow would get over with a mannequin head? No offense, man. Kayfabe, but don't be so sensitive, man. ECW World TV Champion Taz defeats Pitbull number 2 in under 2 minutes with the Taz mission. After the match, Brackus comes out to confront Taz as security tries to hold them apart, causing Taz to knock out the security team. In a 4-way for the ECW tag team titles, the FBI, you know, guys, I speak several languages. Little Guido and Tracy Smothers defeat the Dudley Boys, Bubba and Devon, Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney, and the team of New Jack and Cronus to defend the ECW tag team titles. On that same card, November to Remember, 1997. Here's how that match went. Bubba Ray Dudley pinned Cronus. Axel Rotten pinned Devon Dudley, and Little Guido pinned Balls Mahoney. Tommy Dreamer versus the whole fucking show. I don't mean to cuss. I apologize. RVD in a flag match which ended in a no contest. Now here's the storyline. Dreamer was representing ECW while Rob Van Dam was repping the WWF. after interference from the incredible tag team of Doug Furness and Phil LaFon, along with Bill Alfonso and Sabu, with a returning Stevie Richards. RVD pinned Dreamer with Furness counting the cover because all the refs had been knocked out. That's why it was called Extreme Championship Wrestling. On that same card, the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal Sabu defeated the Sandman in a tables and ladders match. The franchise, Shane Douglas, defeats the Beast from the East, Bam Bam Bigelow, to win the ECW heavyweight title with a simple belly-to-belly suplex, although it did go through a broken table that was set up on a chair. The win began Douglas's fourth and final ECW title reign. Now here's the caveat. Only the Sandman would end up holding the belt more times than Shane Douglas, and the Sandman held it a record 5 times. Back into the time machine. November 30th, 2001, Mitsuhara Misawa and Yoshinari Ogawa defeat Vader and Scorpio to win the Pro Wrestling Noah Global Honored Crown Tag Team titles in Sapporo, Japan. Konnichiwa, bitches. Origato from the GOC-san to all my friends over there in the Pac Rim, over the land of the rising sun, the Orient, if you will. And if you don't like it, change the fucking channel. That's all I'm going to say. November 30th, 2003. Joey Rossi passes away from lung cancer, unfortunately. Now, Joey was the son of Len Rossi. Joey Rossi was a huge babyface in the Goulas wrestling territory in Tennessee back in the day. We continue on with today, November 30th, in pro wrestling history. We stay in 2003. If you had $2 million, let me just make sure I have this correct, the correct story. If you had $2 million, Canadian money, of course, the dungeon could have been yours in 2003. The Hart family officially put their father's mansion in Calgary, Alberta, Canada up for sale. Stu Hart passed on October of 2001. He first bought the 22-room mansion in 1951 for just $25,000. The basement of the home doubled as the infamous dungeon, where Stu stretched many would-be and soon-to-be professional wrestlers. Now, here's the notes. The Harts had hoped it would be purchased and turned into a museum dedicated to the Hart family and the local history of pro wrestling in the Stampede territory. But of course, in the end, the house was purchased and turned into an apartment complex. Complex, if you will. How about that? Right? In the housing market today in 2023 and what they're doing, making all different things, housing complexes and turning fields and athletic fields and hotels and everything for the illegal invasion of the United States of America that's been happening for the last 3 years? That's another story for another time. We are being invaded. That's why I say stay aware. Let me not get onto that soapbox. Let's stay in November 30th, 2003. All Japan Pro Wrestling at the Ishikawa Industrial Exhibition Hall number 3 before 2,500 fans. Here's the lineup, here's the card. Fuji and Ishikari beat High 6'9" and Kono. Jamal and Justin Credible defeat Turmeric Storm, Hanma, and Miyamoto. Abdullah the Butcher, Kendo Kashin, and Urano defeat Hajikata, Hirai Jr., and Okimura. Bull Buchanan and Gigantes defeat La Parca and Parca Guerrera. Kenji Muto and Arashi beat Taka Michinoku and D'Lo Brown. Araya and Kawada defeat Kaz Hayashi and Kojima. How about that for the pronunciation of the Curaçao and Japanese wrestlers? The GOC does it all here on Chaos Corner. Let's stay in November 30th, 2003. New Japan at the Fujisawa City Akiba Bunka Gym in front of 2,500 fans. He and Masayuki Narusi and Tiger Mask beat Hiroki Goto, Taguchi, and Naofumi Yamamoto. Arigato. Domo arigato, Mr. Rebato. Domo. Domo. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo. Remember that by Styx back in the day? I gotta throw in a little of my linguistic vocal cords, don't I? On that same card in New Japan, Blue Wolf and Yoshi defeat Tatsutoshi Goto and Hiro Saito. Makabe beat Yanagisawa. Junji Hirata and Yasuda defeat Izuka and Nishimura. American Dragon, Wataru Inui, and Jushin Liger, along with El Samurai, beat the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Gato and Jado, along with Takimura and Dick Togo. Mihori Suzuki defeats Taru Yano. Josh Barnett defeats Mitsuyawa Nagai. Hiroshi Tenzan defeats The Shadow. And Scott Norton went over on Nakanishi. Let's stay in November 30th, 2003, and let's stay over in the land of the rising sun. Pro Wrestling Noah at the Hokkaido Sports Center in front of 5,000 fans. Ace Steel and Michael Modeste beat Aogi and Momota. Izumida and Kikuchi defeat Kotaro Suzuki and Doug Williams. Aikida, Kawabata, and Tayu defeat Hashi, Kanemaru, and Akitoshi Saito. That was a little tongue twister, right? I was a little tied on that one. Takayama defeats Yoni. Misawa and Ogawa and Scorpio, along with Richard Slinger, beat Inoue, Marufuji, Morishima, and Rikio. How am I doing on these Japanese accents and pronunciations? Pretty damn good. I mean, I'm no Kevin Kelly. I get it. New Japan offer. I understand. But I think I'm holding my own. Not bad, huh? Sanu defeats Jun Akiyama. Global Crown Junior Heavyweight Champion Sugura defeats Kenta. Let's continue with Pro Wrestling Noah, November 30th, 2003, on this date, Pro Wrestling History. Yuji Nagata and Hiroshi Tanahashi defeat Tamon Honda and Kenta Kobashi to capture the Global Honored Crown Tag Team titles. Let's fast forward in the time machine, November 30th, 2012. Thomas Latimer, who worked in WWE developmental as Kenneth Cameron as part of the Ascension Tag Team, has been released after being charged with battery of a law enforcement officer and disorderly intoxication in St. Petersburg, Florida. Latimer had previously been arrested in 2011 for DUI. Now, if you remember, Ascension was one of the top tag teams in the developmental territory of the WWE at the time and held the FCW tag team titles and were featured on the rebranded developmental of WWNXT, including a run with the Bloodline. That's right, Jimmy and Jay Uso. Wiki. Mahalo and aloha for all my Polynesian fans over on the islands. Let's go forward to go back and back to go forward. November 30th, 1998. The Big Boss Man defeats Mankind for the first hardcore title change on Monday Night Raw. Now, the Boss Man held the hardcore title 4 times and has the longest reign with 97-day run in 1999. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Let that marinate. How about that? November 30th, we'll go forward and go back. 1998. Bret the Hitman Hart wins the WCW United States title from Dimas Dallin Page. Bang! On that same card on Monday Night Nitro, Conan defeats Chris Jericho to win the WCW television title. November 30th, today, happy 59th birthday to Jushin Thunder Liger, perhaps one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time. He debuted in 1984 and retired recently in 2020. He is the only wrestler, here's the caveat, here's the useless tidbits of priceless classic historical information that you get on this channel from the GOC. He's the Jushin Liger, Thunder Liger, the only wrestler to rank in every PWI 500 up until 2020. 29 times. Let that sink in. November 30th, 2002. Here's quite the interesting story from Chaos Corner on this date in pro wrestling history. Mr. Wrestling Tim Woods passed away on this day at the age of 68. Now here's the background. Woods wrestled from 1962 to 1983. He was in that infamous plane crash that injured the Nature Boy Ric Flair, retired the legendary Johnny Valentine, and killed the pilot. Now, this is how it was back in the day between heroes and villains and baby faces and heels. That's not protected or even done in today's business. And that's my problem with today's business. Not yours, but that's my problem. As a face traveling with heels, Woods gave the police his real name and said he was a promoter. He returned to the ring only 2 weeks later because of embarrassment of a fan favorite being on the plane. A good guy flying with the villains. Talk about kayfabe. Talk about it being realistic. Talk about tradition and history and real pro wrestling. That's what's lacking today in today's business. That's the facts. Them's the facts. And that's just the way it is. How far they went to protect the business when today nobody protects the business, including their own health. That's just the way it is. That's my opinion. And again, you could leave me a comment. I'm not going to ban anybody or block anybody. You could say whatever you want on this channel. But I'm telling you reality, truth, facts. I am the guardian of chaos, and I tell it like it is. And I'll say that to say this. Let's go forward to go back, and back to go forward once again. November 30th, 1991. The dream match that fans wanted and waited a decade to see finally made its way to the mecca of pro wrestling in Madison Square Garden as the Nature Boy Ric Flair faced the incredible Hulk Hogan. Hogan defeated Flair via reverse decision. Here's the sidebar. Flair had won after hitting Hogan with the brass knucks handed to him by Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. Obviously, the decision was reversed and Hogan retained the title. Talk about your dream matches. People had waited a long time for it. It happened at Madison Square Garden in 1991 on this date in pro wrestling history. On that same card, Bret the Hitman Hart defends the Intercontinental title over the Mountie. IRS went over on the Big Boss Man. The Nasty Boys defeated the Rockers, and fans on that date, over 15,000 fans at the Garden. Let's move on here on Chaos Corner. Some very interesting notes and news here and historical perspective. That's what you get on this channel. I try to make it relatable to you guys. We're going to go forward to go back once again. November 30th, 1979 in Tokushima, Japan. The late, great Antonio Inoki defeats Bob Backlund to win the World Wrestling Federation heavyweight title. How many of you knew that? The win was never acknowledged on WWF TV, but the magazines covered it. And as I grew up as a young man into my teen years in my early 20s through the 70s and 80s into my late 20s, there was nothing like the magazines. There were literally dozens to choose from. that reported, and that's how you found out from the territories all over this country and all over the world. And the magazines reported this in 1979 as Inoki won the WWF title from Bob Backlund. Talk about dream matches. Now, here's the notes. Here's the sidebar. Here's the caveat. Inoki vacated the title, a week later when during a defense against Backlund, Tiger Jeet Singh interfered, causing a no contest. Now, in typical WWF fashion, even to this day, they do not recognize the interruption in Backlund's title reign between 1978 and 1983. But here, I hope you're taking notes, the facts state otherwise. Also today, November 30th, the Z-Man, Tom Zink, would have been 65 today. Rest in peace, Z-Man. He passed on December 2017 at the age of 59 from arteriosclerosis and cardiomegaly, if I said that properly. I'm not as linguistic as I used to be. Let's move on to some positive news. A happy birthday to AEW TNT champion, everybody's father, Christian Cage, who turns 50 today. This goes out to you, Christian, because we worked several events together. We have several photos when you were the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. So this goes out to you, Christian Cage, from the GOC. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Christian Cage, everyone's father. Happy birthday to you. Now, here's the side note on this, to bring it current to 2023. AEW. Next week in Montreal, Canada, Christian Cage faces his longtime partner, and I know you guys are keeping abreast of it, even though this is a history show. Cage faces Adam Edge Copeland for the TNT title. How about that? On this date, November 30th, feel the glow. Happy birthday to Naomi Trinity Fatu, who turns 36 today, the wife of Jimmy Uso. Now, you guys do know that Naomi, Trinity, if you will, was the inaugural winner of WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. How about that for useless tidbits and facts of information? Fans, I did a lot of research today and early this morning. That's basically about all I came up with. Some incredible stories, some incredible news and notes. Once again, not only are we here on video on YouTube, we are also available on podcast platforms like Spreaker and Apple, courtesy of Garage Rick Productions, my good buddy Rick Del Santo, and the PWZ Podcast and WON Sports. So go out and check that. It's under Guardian of Chaos, this day in pro wrestling history. If you just want the audio and you don't want to see the stunning visual impact of the GOC, then you can go over to audio. But how could you want to miss this for those listening on audio? Come to YouTube and check out the videos. So, again, I want to thank all you guys for being here. It's a little shorter of a version today of this date in pro wrestling history. Go back and check out the 2,500 videos of my career, all the events I've been involved with, all the superstars that I've been involved with, history, book reviews, live-to-tape watch-alongs, the current product from every organization that you could think of, including my home at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. Fans, over 500,000 viewers can't be wrong. So I know that 90+% of you are unsubscribed that are watching this show because I check the analytics. And again, follow me on those other social media platforms to find out what I'm up to. I post daily on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, on X, aka Twitter. I'm over on Rumble quite often. Guys, you're not going to want to miss it. So let me take a sip of the water with lemon so I can be hydrated. And I want to give all the shout outs and much love to everybody out there that's watching. And for those of you that are fans or not fans, I certainly appreciate it. Come back. I'll be back tomorrow. Chindan, cheers, salud. And I'll say that to say this, because I tell it like it is. Don't you dare miss it.